Okay, so you're given 2 points. What do? Well, in that case, we use the slope formula to determine the slope. So here it is again. Y equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we'll label these x1, y1, x2, y2. So m is equal to y2 minus y1, which is 8 minus 5. And that's over x2 minus x1, which is 6 minus 2. And 8 minus 5 is 3. 6 minus 2 is 4. So that makes my slope 3/4. Okay, so now we're going to plug that and one of these points into the point slope formula. So y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x1. Okay, and again, if you can't remember this formula, you can always derive it from this one. Just multiply both sides of this equation by the denominator. Okay, so what we want to do is put 3 arrows right here showing the numbers we're about to plug in. Okay, so let me go ahead and write this m in blue so it kind of matches things. And then we'll start from there. Okay, so the m was 3/4, right? So I'm going to write 3/4. And here are my points, 2, 5, 6, 8. You could use either one, okay? You can use either one. Just because I have y1, x1, this is just representing one point, one of the points. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be this one. It could be this one. Let's say this one was 15, 48, and this one was like 1, 0. Okay, well you would use this one. It's a lot easier. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy down what we have. We have y, bring down the y, bring down the minus sign. My y1, so we're going to use this point, okay? So my y1 here is 5. So I plug in my 5, bring down the equal sign. I already have my slope. Write down the x, bring down the minus sign, and x1 is 2. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 3/4 into here. So y minus 5 is equal to, so that's 3/4 x. 3/4 times -2 is -6/4. And if you didn't understand how to multiply fractions, then you should check some of the videos that I have on multiplying fractions. So now what we want to do is bring the 5 over to the other side. So this will be y equals 3/4 x minus 6/4 plus 5. Well, I got to change this 5 to have a common denominator of 4, so what I can do is I can multiply it by 4/4. So we'll multiply it by 4/4. Okay, and then my final answer would look something like this. Y is equal to 3/4 x. Now, if I did this here, I'd get 20/4 minus 6 would be 14/4, but it would be positive, so I ended up with a positive 14/4. Now a shortcut for this right here, okay, would be to multiply 4 times 5, which is 20, and then add -6, which gives you a positive 14. So anyway, if you didn't understand how I did that, you can look up some of my videos where I show you how to add and subtract fractions from whole numbers. So that's basically it, and then this would be your final answer right here. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so for this example, you're given a point and an equation. And what you want to do is isolate the y in this equation here, and then get the slope from it. Then use the slope and this point here to construct your line using the point slope formula. So let's go ahead and isolate the y here. So we can move the 4x to the other side by subtracting it. So we'll get negative 3y is equal to negative 4x. So write the x part first, plus 36, then divide by negative 3. And this cancels with that, and you get y equal, the negatives cancel, so you get 4/3 x minus 3 goes into 36 12 times, so minus 12. So my slope is m equals this number right here, 4/3. Okay? So now this is going to be my x1, my y1, and I'm going to use that in this formula here. Y minus y1 equal to m times the quantity x minus x1. Okay, so what we're going to do is put a number into here, put a number into here, and put a number into here. So bring down my y, my minus sign, and my y1 is 6. Is going to equal to my m, which is 4/3, times the quantity x, bring down the minus sign, and x1 is going to be 8. So now I'm going to distribute the 4/3. I get 4/3 x, and 4/3 times negative 8 is a negative 32/3. So now I add 6 to both sides, and I get y equals 4/3 x minus 32/3 plus 6. So I want the 6 to have a denominator of 3, which means that I would have to multiply top and bottom by 3/3, which makes this 18/3. And then I would just go ahead and add the 2. So y equals 4/3 x, and when I add 18 plus a negative 32, I get a negative 14/3. And that would be your final answer. So I'm hoping that by going over everything in depth here, that I've shown you examples that you probably would find on a test. So the 3 main ones are the ones that I explained earlier, and there are other videos that I'll have that I explain how to just kind of do one problem at a time. But this one here kind of gives you an introduction and gives you an in-depth explanation. So anyway, I hope this helped, and thanks for watching.